everybody. Number 109. Still climbing.
I'm gonna like 110 or 111. 111 would be a good number.
I think after last week and Tim's religiousness coming out, I think Tim's looking forward to number 316. 316.
You went there early. Very, very early, Dexter. Right? A minute 23. We're talking about highlights of last week's episode. That's what we have a new segment when we start the show. Let's see what we learned about last week.
Yeah.
Tim wants to avoid it at all costs, and we will.
That's all good.
But
I will for sure. Yeah. No,
people that watched the podcast last week will get the reference.
Yeah, just watch it. What's going on, boys?
Not much. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. It was really good to see Autumn open up their entries this week. It was nice to see. It sounds like they're flooding in, so it's awesome. Sounds like people are excited. Nice to hear some banter and some chat from people. Like, hey, Baker's teams or what? It's awesome. It's exciting.
You're sort of that middle of August, and it's like, okay, sign up and start to see what the fall schedule looks like, right? So, leagues are filling up and tournaments start booking in. You want to start planning things, right? So, it's good.
Absolutely.
Things are looking good and positive, right? So, it's been nice. I know the greatest Baker's team ever put together signed up again for Autumn Open. So, I mean, it's great that 17 other teams sign up, but we got your money, so thank you.
We finished out of the money last year, was it, Tim? Or
we never. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we never played last year. We weren't in the money, so that's all.
What is Autumn Open again? They do doubles on the Thursday night and Baker's on Friday night.
Correct. Yeah.
Right, and it's Baker's. You play 15 games.
18
games because Paradise has 18 lanes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so one game on every lane. Love it.
And that it just I think it's no tap and straight pinfall, right?
Are they already full on teams? I mean, I know that's something that fills up right away. They're not already full.
They'll
fill, though.
Yeah, they will fill. Yeah.
They will
they
fill,
only
for
had
sure.
8 or 9 teams when they just submitted it, right? But nothing for you to worry about, Daryl. You're not participating in your club tour. Yeah, like too good for us, man. Too good for us.
Hey, I saw though they were starting to promote and lots of chatter on the club tour. Facebook page and the things, and Jeff was talking about online registration. He was talking about and not having to do cash and all that stuff once you get there. Maybe just do singles and double spots. So it's an interesting concept. Like, when do you start to go that, right? So you don't have to pay cash at the door. I mean, cash is nice, obviously. You can pay it out that way, but can you prepay for a processing fee?
Yeah. So a lot of those poker events before COVID happened, the World Series of Poker, you could go down there and you would fill up like a prepaid credit card or whatever they called their poker pass, and you could go pay at the machine to enter an event, right? And if you had to fill it up, but if you won money, it would just fill that card again, right? So there was no cash transaction at all for the World Series of Poker.
Yep.
I think it was 2019. Or it might have even been before that. I'm not too sure.
A lot of festivals are that way too. I mean, when we went to Lala in Chicago, we had a wristband with our credit card on it. Everything was just
the RFID tags.
Nice.
Just
can you imagine 5PIN-U or a WCBT or whatever event you're just going through for the weekend? Yeah, sign me up for another shift. Doubles with him. It doubles. I can just picture a guy like Adam Weber or Mitch Davies, all you guys who play with 15 people, just being able to select them off on a pad. Who do you want to play with doubles?
That looks like a quarterback thing here, like a little playbook. Quarterback playbook. Yeah.
Well, be on the iPads, and you can just scroll through. And who do you want to be at? Boom, 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 boom. We need a designer, an app designer, who's listening right now that is interested in creating an app or some program for accepting money transactions at a WCBT event.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Jeff England is already doing it for Club Tour, so he's probably sitting here looking like DB. I got it, man. It's like, okay, Jeffy, hook it up. So,
but he doesn't like to share, right? And that's the thing. That's the thing we don't like about Jeff. He doesn't like to share. So
he doesn't
still
share
waiting for his system. Still waiting for his system.
Tim, you got a new background tonight, there, hey?
Yeah, I'm trying to show everybody I actually work. So yeah, this is not my office, my parents' office. That's why that garbage is up there.
That's why it's the perfect
Jeff
team
is in
is
the
on
house.
the roll. There he is.
Yes, that was good. I mean, we covered our asses there a bit. Good job, guys.
Perfect garbage up
I
there.
did.
No. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is retiring, right? So, yeah.
Fair enough.
There we go. Jeff just popped up. There we go. Yeah, making up as I go. Yeah.
Just above Tim's head there is the Blue Jays sign that we got Mom for Mother's Day. But she just got back. Paris just got back from 4 games.
Sweet.
In Toronto. Yeah.
How fun was
Awesome.
that for them? No, you had said the one game Sunday they weren't going to go. Was he glad that he went that one?
Oh yeah, I was like, why are you guys not gonna go? I know you guys like mom especially. Mom is a diehard like Blue Jays fan, and I was like, if you are not watching the game there, you're gonna sit in a bar and watch the game there, like 100%. She does not miss a game. Why are you not getting tickets? And I'm really glad that they did get tickets. I went to it because that game was unreal. Like Springer's home run in the bottom of the 8th to get up by 1, and then Romano strikes out the side and giant fist bumps, and
he's playing good right now, isn't he, Springer? Right?
Yeah.
Springer's
Well, he hit in two double plays yesterday, so it depends how you look at it. But.
He's a roller coaster, boys.
He's the first player in franchise history to win AL Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, they're really good.
He's doing.
Has any of our other Easterners that might be watching right now, have any of you guys gone to a game yet either? Be good to know.
Maybe Barker. I think Barker might have.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, a Barker. You know, speaking of baseball, there was a post a couple days ago that JB, one of our patrons, compared Mike Trout to Adam Weber, and I thought that was kind of ridiculous. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, there's some comparisons to be made. I mean, you know, Weber with his constant injuries and you know, always talk of retirement. So I mean, there's kind of that.
And I saw him. He's back, eh? He's back to work, he says. Eh?
363 days. You know what?
Yeah, Weber's back to work. It's go time. You know that he's playing Autumn Open. Oh, sign me up. Oh, shucksy darnsies.
And you know what? And we also have to admit that was 363 days that I made him retire after the Bradley Adam match. So, Adam, if you're listening,
Tim, it's not all about you.
it is about me. I made the greatest player retire. So it was good. You know, it was great seeing Adam come in here.
It was really good seeing him.
He was here for 4 hours or 5 hours.
So you're going to start seeing guys more often now because 5-Pin Universe 8-Gamer is booked, right? We have a schedule on. It's a go. We've got dates. Book them, sign up, let us know when you're playing. We'll get them recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a lot of work, Kerry. Tell us that was challenging.
Yeah, obviously with all these centers opening up and needing to make money and stuff like that, that leaves slim pickings for a tournament that was supposed to be run during COVID to finalize everything, right? So we've put out time slots that 5-Pin Universe, aka me, is able to record the matches, and people are starting to book their matches and get that all ready to be recorded, and then we'll set that up for a live stream and all that good stuff. So, Brett, nobody made it from Manitoba because the cut was too high, my friend. The cut was too high. Or you guys were on lockdown. Hey, yeah, Brett, how about this? You guys were on lockdown the whole time, and then he steps down after you guys get out of it. Don't you guys feel like crap?
Yeah.
Brett Pallister steps down.
Yeah. How about Cuomo stepping down, too?
Here we go. Now we're getting into politics.
Yeah.
Does
So
anybody
that
know
was
what
your
we're
fault.
talking about?
That was your fault. That was your
Hey,
stop.
you know what?
Reverse.
Yeah, let's get out of this.
Jerry,
Long live Kenny, Berta.
Shut up.
Okay,
Kerry's
let's escape
talking
this
about
politics.
5-Pin U, we've got it booked. It's awesome that, you know what, you had to just pick some dates that worked, that we can get them recorded. So should be enough times. Obviously, a couple conflicts. We saw Rick Heinrich saying that he's going to bow out just based off his schedule, and it is what it is, and respects that. We see guys who are playing second matches afterwards. You know, got one. I know that Holdsworth was eager and ready to go and wanted to dance. He wanted to get the first match in on the first day. And I said, whoa, don't think about this, Holdsworth. You're going to need some practice and some warm-up and to get yourself all limbered up. Why don't you just take yourself a week, Go throw a couple of balls, and we'll see you. And we'll play you on the following week.
Kevin just needs to find the perfect cocktail of things.
Kev was super appreciative that I backed things up for him so that he could get enough time into practice and get his body ready to go. So you're welcome, Kev. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's going to be exciting. I can't wait till we get the whole thing recorded and we're able to live stream. Maybe we'll get the first few matches recorded and maybe we'll do a live stream of them, or we'll come up with some other ideas. Not that these podcasts aren't great and great to do weekly, but maybe we'll do them bi-weekly and we'll have in between we'll have some matches of the 8-gamer and maybe the Pro League, or
maybe Thursday nights at Sherwood Bowl that's now stepping up, eh?
Oh yeah. We got another sucker joining us. Yeah, you know, if anybody didn't know, Daryl is actually a bowler, and he actually put a team in on Thursday. So I just want to let you know.
Yeah, Tim's sending me the lineup.
Daryl made the cut of the 8-gamer. Where are you at?
I wanted to do commentary for you guys. It's sometimes it's about us. It's not about you guys.
So you figured you would sacrifice yourself, the one person that rambles more than anyone?
Yeah, I thought so. You know what? I have a lot of charisma and a lot of personality to put on there.
You've been reading, looking some books.
Yeah. Gary is giving me everything for teleprompters.
He's been reading books. Has he been reading the Bible?
Okay.
All right. Let's go. Let's let him roll. Let's bring in our guest.
Yeah. Let's pay some bills here.
Unbelievable.
So as little as $2 a month, you can become a patron and support this podcast that we bring to you weekly at patreon.com/5pinuniverse. We just want to thank all the patrons that have already been supporting us. Our guest on tonight is also a patron. So please join them, help support us, and we can keep bringing you more content and hopefully better content in the future. Not saying that this isn't good, but it's shaky at times.
At best, yeah.
Also, we want to thank our weekly podcast sponsor, All-Star Bowling Sales. Once again, we're doing a giveaway, #All-Star Giveaway this week. Switched it up again, so don't put All-Star Draw in. And we're going to run their little spiel here. But before we do that, we want you guys to maybe buy Tom Patterson's book, Success Driven Logic. We will post the link to his email where you can send in your orders and all that good stuff. He also has a workbook with it as well. So
awesome.
Have any of you guys ordered yours yet?
I haven't yet.
I have not. I did see that he did the promotional video too that I watched for about a minute and then he's got sidetracked. So I promise I'll spend the 7 minutes and listen to it. But yeah, I'll get the book for sure.
I actually didn't know it existed, so that's good to know.
What do you mean? No, there's like the promotional video.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, he did a little something, I think, on Facebook. I want to say that there was a link to a YouTube that he did 7 minutes, just sort of talking about what the book was and what it meant to him and how it came together. So
that's awesome.
It looked like it would have been a good video, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Plug to Tom.
All those people that just did that hashtag, I'm gonna need you to do it again. You gotta hit go to start collecting them. So my bad. You can start now. Oh no, we got 12 entries already. We're good. Never mind. Yeah, perfect.
He's just going for a record number of comments tonight. Just trying to go viral.
Yeah. I will address Brett's comment here too. A legit non-troll question. Thanks for pointing that out, Brett, because we're never quite sure with you. Is everyone playing at the house they qualified in? We're gonna try to do that 99% as much as we can. But if we can't get it organized with the centers or travel or shutdowns or whatever, because based on zones or whatever, they will be allowed to try to play in a different center if we can't make it work in the center that they bowled in. So we're going to do our best to make sure they bowl in the center they can, but if they can't, we got to do something to make it happen.
Ultimately, due to the conflicts with the bowling centers having to run their what they already got going on and stuff like that, we couldn't really restrict every single bowler to play in a qualified center just because some people have to travel 2, 3, 4 hours, and it really isn't going to be an option if it's only one match for an evening or something like that. So bowling out of their local center will be just better for everybody. It may not be what the player wants because maybe they couldn't maybe that center is a little bit tougher and stuff like that. So we're doing with what we can. Everybody seems to be in agreement that is in the cut. So, yeah. With that all being said, let's run All Stars commercial and we'll bring in our special guest. So, our special guest for podcast number 109, like I said, he's a patron, and he's been a staple in Northern Ontario, hailing out of Fort Francis, Mr. Jeff Watts.
Hello.
How are you doing, Jeff?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. You guys?
Good. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, not a problem.
Carrie's like extra polite today.
Well, I have to be. It's in my contract.
How are things, Jeff? How are things out in Fort Francis? How's life been out there through all this stuff?
Well, today has been kind of interesting. I had two of my guys quit on me today. Yeah, I was in, before the show there, I was in hair and makeup for about an hour, and I was telling them to make me look good for the show. And they were trying, they're trying different things, doing some different things with my hair, and they just started crying. They like, we can't do it. There's nothing we can do. So they quit and they walked out, and you're stuck with this. So.
Nice.
I hope you paid them handsomely.
Oh, they're not getting paid now.
Yeah, they're gone. They quit. They quit on
Job's
the
not
job.
done. They quit on the job. They're like, I can't make you look good.
Yeah.
We gotta go. We're done. And they left crying their heads off.
In all fairness, Jeff, I like your new haircut. Your haircut looks your haircut looks good. I remember the days of the scraggly hair, straight out of like the guy from Home Alone or something like that too.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks good on you. You look sophisticated.
I actually just got a haircut yesterday, actually. So 48 hours ago, it was a little bushy.
Yeah, I like it. It looks good.
Desher, you know what? I think Marlis changed him, right, since we first met him. So I think that has a big thing to do with it.
Yeah, I can't go to the strippers as often now.
Yes, I wasn't sure if I should bring that up, but yes.
Oh, why not?
That's right.
Marla just poked her head around the corner and gave me a dirty look, so I'm in trouble already. So. It's already over.
Well,
Hey, it's on camera, right? So yeah don't worry.
The longer you're on podcast, the longer you have a chance of staying alive. At least we can witness murder this way.
Yeah,
you're all right.
I'm recording. I'm still on the show. You can't. Don't bug me. Yeah. What does your shirt say, Jeff?
Remember when I asked your opinion? Me neither.
How fitting.
It's a good one. I like it.
Shirt for a podcast, that's for sure.
Oh, I think so too, man.
I always wonder what, in our opening banter, if the guest who's coming on wants to be like, I want to be involved in that conversation. They're talking about something I got an opinion for. Like, Jeff, you're sitting in the back room, are you listening to us BS for the first 10 minutes and thinking, I should talk about that topic?
It could go either way, I guess. Well, I don't know. It's you kind of have a setup already kind of set, right? You have your little banter, and then
I just wonder if it's like,
whatnot, right?
you got, what's your opinion on what were we even talking about before, guys?
No politics.
Yeah, we weren't going into politics.
No politics.
We were talking about like the computer program. If you had a computer program for something, for your entry fees into a tour event, right? Like, what's your opinion on that? Or what were we talking about? Yeah, but it's, you know what I mean? I wonder, like, we're talking about
the WCBT Autumn Open.
Yeah, talking about that.
You're coming out, Jeff, right?
Yeah, I've signed up for the Calgary one already, so I'm excited to go. I need to go in a long time. I want to get out there.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be a blast.
It's been a while since I've been out to
it's
Calgary, so.
yeah. I hope it's as big as it was when we got shut down there. 200 entries in that year, so let's hope it's at least that.
I think it will be. I think there's a lot of people that are itching to go again. I know I am.
Yeah.
What are flight prices right now looking like across the country? Anybody looked like what's Vancouver to?
Well, actually, I've heard from Abbotsford to Calgary for Flair is $100 round trip for that weekend. So anybody flying from Vancouver, take a look at Flair. I heard that is $100 round trip right now.
What about Regina or Winnipeg coming from there?
They'll probably drive, maybe.
Regina to
I know from Winnipeg it's like $350 a flight right now. It's expensive. I'm actually thinking of coming in a day earlier and staying a day later because the flight the day before and the day after are $91 instead of $350.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure. I
don't pay for your hotel room and everything.
Exactly right. So I think you've got something to do in Calgary maybe for a day.
Yeah.
Full practice.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So Jeff, how did you get into bowling? Let's start there.
Yeah, basically, I believe I was 7. I went to a kid's birthday party. I don't remember who it was. Went to a birthday party, went bowling, loved it, and never stopped. In about 25 years now.
That's awesome.
That's just what you want too, as like owner of a bowling center. A kid comes into a birthday party, you had a wicked time, you joined the league, and now you're playing, right? What a great story.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, but in all reality, like, I mean, a little off topic, but like that's the whole reason why businesses run the Kids Bowl Free program in the summer, right?
Yeah.
You're just hoping for somebody to come in. You make a little bit of money off of the shoe rentals, but you're hoping somebody comes in, learns to love it, ends up joining leagues or coming in through the winter because they love it. And honestly, every single year we have probably at least 5 people that end up joining leagues, whether it's adults or kids, because of it. So it's well worth our time for sure. So I totally understand it. That's great, Jeff. That's super cool.
Would you calculate how many free games you would have given away in a year, in a summer, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can go back and look. I have a specific function on our POS system for Kids Bowl Free, so we can go back and figure it out. But it's a substantial amount. But I remember the days of the summer before Kids Bowl Free where we would make $100 in a day.
Yeah,
right. So you weren't going to make anything anyways. So you might as well have somebody coming in.
Exactly. So we're at the point where we're making $400 a day in shoe rentals at least.
I remember the day when the Oilers went to Stanley Cup Finals. I was working Tuesday night, and I cashed out at $24. $24, right? So it's well worth it, But yeah, you should try an adult drink for free. It might be a game changer. Len, we also want them to leave too, right? So, but yeah, no, it's you have to say that Jeff has so much enthusiasm for the sport. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit later. He's going to be traveling 2 hours to go to a bowling center to play league this year, right? And all that other stuff. It's just crazy. So it's quite something.
So Jeff,
I think we're almost ready away or not next season or whatever it was, but started bowling YBC and bowled YBC all the way through.
Yeah. Now, Arnie Rollins owned that bowling center that was there. Now, yeah. And we'll get to that at some point too. But now, did you start playing 4 steps and have any success there in your teams, or did you play some singles there in YBC? Was there like a competitive? How many bowling centers would have been in that close area? How did you get a drive for competition as a young kid?
As a young kid, not really. A small town. Like most of the years, we just had 5 guys to make a team, right? There was no qualifying. It was just, okay, there's your 5 guys, right? Because I think my last couple of years as seniors, that's all we had was 5 guys, or maybe 6. Like if one would be singles and the rest would be teams.
Yeah.
And for our zone, it was us, Fort Francis, Dryden, and Kenora was the three towns.
Yeah.
Back in my younger days, there was Atikokan and Red Lake Farmertown as well, but they were only there for a couple years, like maybe my Bantam years, that then kind of had fallen out. It was just the three towns competing against each other.
I love how I'm talking to you right now. I'm looking at the map of Canada, know exactly what the towns are you're looking at. I'm like, oh, okay, right on the,
Yeah, right in the middle of the bush, middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah, but between Thunder Bay and Winnipeg, right? As I looked it up, and we talked, you're right on the border of Canada and U.S. as a town right there. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know where you would have been until I opened up the map and looked at it. I'm like, oh, nice.
A lot of people don't know where Fort Francis is.
Yeah, somebody actually lives. Somebody lives over there, really?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple houses here. Yeah.
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 So when was you go, Dex?
So did you have you didn't have a whole lot of success in the YBC for 4 steps or anything like that, or did you go as a single or anything like that?
Yeah, I was singles a few times.
Nice.
I know at provincials I had 3 silvers.
Okay.
And
awesome.
for the teams, I think we had a few, maybe bronze or something like that. But for being, especially in the majority of our province being smaller communities and whatnot, we could never bowl against Thunder Bay. Right? Thunder Bay had 10 times the population, 10 times the amount of kids. They always blew us out of the water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even so. I mean, we're from Edmonton. Like, and our YBC program, when Tim and I were kids, we had, probably 6, 7, 8 guys that were all like kind of at the same caliber that kept pushing each other to get better and better and better. For you to have the success you have in bowling, and for you to get as good as you have in a small town with truthfully, like, very little pushing you, is really remarkable. It really is.
Well, I wasn't that good really in YBC. I was, okay, better than sort of thing, but it's basically been since like 24 on. I've, starting to get better. I'm getting there.
Did you have any coaches, or did you have good coaching there? Any names that stick out for you?
Yeah, basically for seniors anyways, that's when you started taking it a little bit more seriously, right? You started liking it more, starting to get a little bit better. You're like, I really like this, I want to get better. But I had one coach pretty much my whole senior, well, even to this day, it's always been my coach, but Rick Smarsky is his name. He's been good. We started getting more along lines of the technical side of the game. So instead of, just being a cheerleader, like, hitting for the middle, he started getting, telling you what you did wrong, sort of thing, right? Dropping the shoulder or a speed thing or something like that. You start getting a little more technical, and that's when you start kind of, moving on, getting to that next step, right? Get to that 200 average, to that 230 average, to, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's neat that you've had like one main coach that sort of helped you throughout the whole way. So a lot of times you hear stories of like, oh, well, this guy and this guy and this guy, and sometimes too many voices, right, start getting into your head. It's nice to have a little bit of variety, sure, but it's also nice to be, you've had somebody that's helped you along the way the whole time, and there's lots of stories of that too, that one coach the whole way through, and it just means so much to me, right? So
yeah, for sure. He was pretty much the guy I listened to, right? As you know, somebody else might be telling you the right thing, but you just don't listen to him just first bite, I guess, right? But
yeah.
When Rick told me something, he took it seriously and try to fix what he was telling me.
Yeah.
So then, starting playing in adult leagues, like where did you start to find the competitive to go into some of the, what was your first taste? The Open, the Masters, cash tournaments. Like where did you start to carve your way of some of the tournament play?
Well, I think I started bowling adult league at 15. It was kind of weird, a 15-year-old. It might have been 16, I'm not sure, but kind of weird being a kid at that age. And, back then they were smoking in the bowling alley, right? So you go into the to the lanes and there's just a big haze over top, right? And you're like, oh, I'm not used to this. This is kind of different, but
Yeah,
you know, of
I
course,
remember that.
the adults with the swearing and the drinking and whatnot, right? You learn quickly, and maybe I'm also screwed up now, maybe because I started too early. But yeah,
good
no,
game, kid. Here, have a good game, kid. Here, have a drink. Right?
Yeah, that was I know. Then I moved. My last year of YFC, actually, I moved to Sudbury, and I went to college there for a couple years, right? So I bowled out of there. I bowled my last year of YBC, and then just bowling the adult league, right? And the first year bowling the adult league, I actually didn't hear about Masters. Didn't know what it was about. I did the Open. I qualified out of Sudbury. Made singles actually. Came down to provincials. Made step ladder actually with some surprise rookie year and whatnot. I bowled really well. Didn't medal. I got my ass kicked because I was nervous as hell and whatnot. But just to get there was pretty darn good, right? So I was happy about that. But then the following year, I had moved back to my hometown, Fort Francis here, and that's when I started getting more involved with the YC being the coach side of things, right? And coaching the kids and doing that. And then that's when you kind of learn about Masters. And like, oh, there's another tournament that's been a blast, right? And I've been doing that ever since too.
Now, what is the qualifying? Because now is Masters Northern Ontario and Ontario as well, right? So for everything, they're separate, right? So what's the qualifying in your region for Northern Ontario for Masters? Because I know 6 tournaments. You take the best 4 to 5. So what's Northern Ontario look like?
Yeah, we have since we're so spread out and whatnot. Like we're bowling against people in Sudbury, which is like 15 hours away from us, right? And Timmins is like 12 hours away from us, like North Bay is like 100,000 miles away from, or 100,000 hours away from us, right there in the middle of nowhere. So we can't all bowl together all the time.
Okay.
We just can't do that travel wise, right? So we have 3 tournaments, 3 16 tournaments in our own zones, bowling against our own people and whatnot. You drop one of those, and we go into the year end, and where we all bowl together, and that tournament counts for sure, right? So going into year end to the final tournament, technically we're only 12 games in. We have year end's a double tournament, right? You bowl 12 games. So really going into year end, the year's only half done, right? So a lot of 12 games in, 12 games to go. There's a lot can still change. So
yeah, totally. You can drop, or you can make up a lot of ground in 12 games. Because how far are you really going to be down at the end of the day? You're down 300, 400 pins, maybe something through. I mean, 6 people, whatever the number is, right? There's 6th place isn't going to have a couple of. And you said only 6 game qualifiers, not 8 games.
Yeah, it's only 6 games. Yeah, because we bowl with the kids as well. So
okay,
2 of our tournaments we bowl with the kids. Because like our whole teaching and math and tournament is we're all bowling at the same time. It's not separate. We're all the tournament are bowling at this such date, and all the teaching is bowling at this such date, right? Like I'm bowling with the kids, bowling tournament, right? Because I'm not going to make teaching bowling the tournament side, and I'm bowling with people that are in the seniors, bowling the seniors league or bowling the teaching league or bowling. You're all bowling at the same time, right?
Yeah, right.
So, so it's kind of a little bit different that way, but I don't get used to it, I guess.
Is it so when you're throwing a 6 game? I mean, you have to be with everybody, just the amount of people. But 6 games, that's an interesting topic. There is 6 games versus 8 game tournaments. Is there a lot of 6 gamers, or is everything that we know of 8 gamers? And what are you looking to shoot when you're playing 6 gamers? Are you looking to shoot 1450, or are you looking to shoot 1500? Like, what would the cut line be in a 6 game?
You're like, I'm always hoping for at least a 15. This is kind of like a kind of par, but really, you don't need to bowl all that great to make it out of Northern Ontario. Like even 1400s are pretty good. We'll get you in, but obviously a 1400 is not that good.
Yeah, does that change the mentality, guys, from playing 6 gamer versus an 8 gamer? What would that do for you?
I think it does.
I don't know. It's different. Like I said, when you are bowling with the kids and whatnot, right? It's kind of different because you're bowling, like, yeah, I'm trying to bowl good for myself, right? That's what you're doing. But as soon as you're done bowling, you're bowling with the kids too, right? So now you switch off your tournament brain into coaching mode, right? And you're kind of cheering on the kids and like, oh, do good and whatnot, and trying to cheer them on and it's all about the kids, right? And then you're off to bat again. Okay, now you guys switch on to the tournament mode again, right? Because I'm trying. It's not here to have fun, right? I'm here to win. So it's different. It kind of works both ways. Sometimes it can be hard to keep a rhythm going and whatnot, right? Try to keep it going, but also kind of work good when you're struggling and you're kind of down on yourself and you're just like, oh, I'm just not doing good. It's kind of nice to be able to turn off your brain just for half a second and cheer on the kid for a second. In case it's not about me right now, forget about it. Cheer on your kid, and then it kind of goes both ways. I know it goes both ways. So you go there and try to bowl as good as you can.
I think that's an interesting topic. I don't think no other province plays for Masters with the kids, right? No. I think Northern
Ontario used to.
Yeah.
Used to. I don't think they play the that system anymore.
No. Well, they did in 2019.
Or games account at least, right? So
I think the bowl tournament with the kids, but it doesn't count as their Masters, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just think it's an interesting. Like I said, I'm not against it. I just think it brings a totally different mindset. And I know Kathy mentioned that it's different with the kids. I can see 6 games with the kids is a lot different. That's just a ray of sunshine right now. But,
I am.
But
I was looking down on me.
I think that'd make it a whole lot different situation, right? So.
Yeah, because in WCBT, can you run in a sprint, a 6 gamer? I mean, you're what do you shoot, 1800? What's the 1750 for an event? What would the cut line be for? Because wouldn't 7th and 8th game typically in tournaments the cut would come down, right? There's not often tournaments that you're going to go up 6 points. I mean, you can watch those scores and you saw what's come down. Yeah, so if that's the case,
on average it comes down, but there has been a few tournaments where it jumps.
But if you make it 6 games, you're just going to see game 6 make it go down.
Sure, right? Because the pressure and the getting to you, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the pressing aspect, right? So,
I think your room for error, on a 6-game block is less than an 8-game block. Jeff probably can attest to that, probably. And
if you have a couple bad games, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you can't have any bad games. Well, you can if you're only shooting 20 or 1500s, right? I mean, you need a 300 in there, but in a WCBT, or sometimes, during all fairness, how bad is bad can you recover from? But and what game is that bad game and that you're got to recover from? So
I think in 6 games, all of a sudden you only have one bad game. You have one bad game, one mediocre game. The rest of them have to be pretty decent, and to make up for it, 8-gamer you can have 2 bad games. Yeah,
I'm
gonna have a cramp in my neck.
I also think the more games you have in a qualifying shift, or more games you have in to qualify for something, your better bowler has the opportunity to have a better chance of making that situation.
The stamina guy.
Right.
What's your open qualifying look like, Jeff?
Like for the zone wise, I don't know. Make the men's team. We're looking at probably a 230-ish.
No, but what's the how many games do you play?
Oh, for qualifying is 20 games.
Okay.
Okay, you did the full work there.
Which is some zones even here, I think, are 12 or 15. It's a lot less. But I agree with Tim's comment. The more games there are, the better chance that the better bowlers will make it. Right? Sort of my jam is playing the Open is 20 games, and this just over a longer period of time, I can work myself into that. You can claw away, and you get 5th or 6th place or 7th or 8th. Right? So, yeah.
I definitely have more confidence over a longer, like the Open. I think that I can make the Open team, just because I know I can my games are going to be there over 20 games compared to over at.
But you still get the pressure. You start feeling the pressure. 17, 18, 19, certainly 20.
Oh,
right?
we can drink though. We can drink though. You don't feel the pressure.
No matter the number of games in a number of the points you lead, you still kind of there's that moment. Any tournament, right?
Yes,
even if it's 6-gamer, we're talking 8-gamer, 3-gamer, 1-gamer, right? Like you feel that moment. So it's just break it all down.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Your rookie team did you make? What do you want to talk about first, Jeff? Masters or Open? Like, what was your rookie make for one of the two that started sending you into a nationals or a provincials?
Well, my rookie national, like other than going to one New Challenge national as a kid, but that was pretty much it. But as an adult, my rookie national was Masters in 2010. I was on the teaching team that year. I actually didn't qualify. I was, I was the second runner-up, and thankfully somebody had hurt themselves and dropped out. And this is my first year Masters, right? So I really don't know. I bowled the games, but I don't really know what Masters or Nationals is about. I know nothing about it, but didn't qualify. Life goes on. You go back to work. Your bowling's done for the year, right? And I get a call. I think it was like 2 or 3 days before Nationals started in Sudbury, and said, so and so dropped out. He can't go. The next runner-up couldn't make it. Took time off work. Can you go? I'm like, sure. This is good. I think it was like a Monday, and I had to leave that Wednesday. So I was at work. I tried to get the time off work, and especially my job back then. I was the only guy that could do my job. So when I was gone, my work just sat there, right? So I went in to work at 4 a.m., worked to 5 p.m., got as ahead as much as I possibly could, left, like I already had all my stuff packed and ready to go, left work at 5 p.m. or ish or whatever, like something like that, drove the 16 hours to Sudbury after working a 13-hour shift.
Wow.
That is complete.
Safe. Real safe. Yeah.
Oh, I know, I can't do that now. I was younger then. Pull into the. I think I just made opening ceremonies in like 10 by like an hour. Sitting there in opening ceremonies, literally doing the, just barely staying awake. As soon as it was done and gone, right, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, whatever it was. Everybody's like, go over to the room and have some drinks, start time to party, not right. It's like, nope, I'm going to bed. It was like 8 o'clock at night or something like that. I went to bed and slept all the way through. The bowling started the next day, so that was kind of an interesting way to start a Masters career.
Yeah, and how did the result end up? What did you? It was teaching men's.
It was teaching men's, yeah. So like I said, I was maybe only about a 225, 230 average back then. I bowled pretty well, actually. I think I was going to look into that, but I was pretty sure I was like 17-4 or something like that. I bowled pretty good.
That's awesome.
And we ended up winning gold, so I guess you can't complain.
Nice. And you won gold that year.
Yeah, and that was obviously I had no idea going to Masters, right? So I hadn't bowled in like 2 months since weeks had done. So that was kind of interesting. It was kind of just like, okay, I got no practice, so let's just go and have fun, and we did pretty well.
Nice, that's awesome. Congrats. Now, was that the only year that you played the teaching? Or did you always play then tournament? Started playing tournament after that? Okay, I should be playing tournament, and you've made that a number of times. Any of those years stand out to you? I think it's 5 times on the tournament men's team. So, coming out of any zone, and no matter where you are, 5 times in the last 10 years is a pretty good accomplishment, right? So, any of those teams stand out, or some significant stories to talk about?
I don't know. I always had. We're not, medals or anything, obviously, right? Northern Ontario tournament men's team don't really have a great record when it comes to medals.
This is Northern Ontario, so it is. Sorry, forgive me, but the DeGrazias, do they play Masters, or who are some of your teammates in these events? So DeGrazias don't play?
No.
Okay.
I think the main issue is because with the kids, right? They don't want to bowl with the kids. They just want to bowl. Like
from a qualifying. So, to qualify, you have to bowl, and the tournament's provided in there. Yeah, gotcha.
And and it's yeah. I know I lost my train of thought already. What were we doing?
Yeah, just sort of who would be some of your teammates that are on these the tournament teams in the last handful of years?
Well, like back in the day, like Mike McNamara was always on. He was our president. Right? He's moved to Southern Ontario now, but he was always in there and whatnot, right? Tom Williams, Jason Remmersfall, Al Paquette, both Masters for quite a while. He hasn't done it for the last couple of years. We'll have to keep razzing him. Hopefully, we'll come back.
Yeah, Al, go back to Masters. Jeff needs you.
Yeah, come on, we need you. But yeah, that's pretty much it from what I think of. We have pretty much every year we have a couple new guys, right? A couple rookies.
Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah, Roger.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, Roger even made a couple tournaments. Last couple.
Yeah. Roger and Nicky are awesome.
I had a good time facing them.
Yeah, I know Wiseman's like Roger. They're good pals.
yeah.
Hey,
it's fun trash talking him.
You know, you're famous for a Masters video when Joel went up on the lanes. I think you're facing Joel, and his whole team left him.
Yeah,
and,
I was.
and then his whole team left him. I remember that video. Yeah.
They just walked away.
I didn't know it was coming there, so you can see in my facial expression that was hilarious. All of a sudden, he comes up, throws the strike, and I see him throw the towel, and that's when that kind of turned. I see all his team, they were like 3-4 lanes down, right? They were gone. So he comes off the lane, getting ready for the big high five, and this whole team left him, and that was hilarious. That was that's always something to remember. That was funny as hell.
See you later.
That's a good
That was
prank.
great, yeah.
Nice. And also for Masters, you've played single a few times too, so that's a different experience than playing on team. Obviously, just one player plays singles. You can't play both in Masters. So, what's the difference between the two playing, and obviously any good experiences playing the singles at Nationals? Who would have won? What years did you play singles?
Okay, I should have wrote that down earlier. Singles, I was 2012.
Tim has the info. He's got it all.
Well, he sent it to me, so.
Yeah, I remember I looked it up earlier. 2014, I had bowled singles. I didn't win that year. Mike McNamara actually won. But he had to drop out. He was working on his knee or leg. I think it was his knee, but he had surgery on his knee, so he had to drop out. So I had bowled that year. I was the runner-up. Technically, I didn't win. But
how did it? How did it go at Nationals?
Well, pretty good. I think I had every year I've been getting better win-loss record. I think 2012 I think I was like 10-11. So first year out, not bad, not great, but
50-50 son.
Yeah, and I think every year since I've had a better record, I've bowled better, been closer to making the stat ladder. Right, I think 2018 I bowled quite well, like pretty good for myself. I know one thing that I was kind of happy about was I think it was only one game that whole tournament where I was totally blown out. He just had a big game, and it was just I was done. 6th frame already over, right? But every other game that came right down to the 9th, 10th frame, everyone came right down to the end. So it's kind of nice that just all it took was just a couple more of those to go my way, and I was right in there. So I know next time I'll get him. I'll make it.
Yeah. You were 4th that time. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you'll be the person that Tim's giving a gold medal to.
Yeah.
But hey, better chance than Tyson. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyson, he got his medal his first year. That little kid. Forget it.
Yeah,
he beat me by 4 pins that year, by the way. 4 pins. That's all.
You're not upset or anything, I know. Yeah, I
no, not at all. No.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rivalry. There always got to be a few.
Yeah.
Tim has them with everybody.
Tyson was also bragging about how he got dessert and you didn't.
Dessert? Oh, I don't know that one.
Remember in Gatineau he got dessert from Marla and you didn't because you didn't get a medal?
That's right. I forgot about that. Mara likes him better anyways. They're both nice little people. They're a little bit different. Hey, look at Brett over there. Look what he does.
Watch yourself.
I see even Al Paquette chiming in. He wasn't happy with 2018.
No.
Yeah. That's why you got to come back, Al, I guess, eh?
That's right. Absolutely.
So what, obviously Masters, you had said some of the DeGrazias don't play. The competition level, obviously you'd want to be, at the top, but you said it's a challenge there too. Is there other obstacles, or what I mean, the general space, the tournament, the format? What was there anything that Northern Ontario that you guys talked about that could make it more competitive to play, or what sort of things do you guys go through on that challenge?
I don't know. I know it's been talked about in a previous podcast, but we were trying to had split the divisions, right? So the tournament can bowl. They were, nothing set in stone, but have 2 tournaments a year where we all bowl together, right? When they're talking about one in the east, one in the west, so like one would be in Thunder Bay, and then
right, so just the one at the end of the year.
Yeah, then that way you have just 2 tournaments a year, everybody's bowling together, and have a tournament division that way. And have to bowl with the kids. I would do that, obviously, especially if it gets more people interested. Like it's great going to Nashville and whatnot. Right? I love it. I've always been a blast every time I've ever gone. But to have a shot at them, it would be nice once in a while.
Yeah. This is an interesting one, right? Jason brings up a comment here. You have to coach to master in Northern Ontario, right? That's an interesting one, whereas not necessarily the strict rule anywhere else, or at least not in Alberta. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but do you have to be an active coach? What are the parameters around that, Jeff? Can you tell us? Like, do you have to be how many hours a week, or do you have to be registered with a certain league, or how do they police that?
Basically, there is no policing. There's a lot of masters that don't coach kids at all.
Right.
Some are work related, right? They're always working that day or whatever it's at, right? Some just, I don't know, maybe just don't want to or something like that, right? But I always try to. I'm pretty much one of the only coaches really in sport that does more of the coaching side of things, right? Trying to instead of just cheerleading and getting kids to the right lane, like, hey, come over here up on 3, let's go and whatnot, right? Try to have a little bit more technical side of the game, but unfortunately, there's just not the kids really to do it, right? But because I know for a couple of years there, they had changed our YC day to a Wednesday, and instead of Saturday morning, and I worked Wednesday nights all the time, so I didn't coach at all for like 2 years because I couldn't. I just had it working, right? I would love to, but they switched it back to Saturday, so I coached whenever I could when I wasn't bowling.
Right.
But if I wasn't bowling, I was not bowling out.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I understand. Like, even like you're supposed to coach the 4 hours per month. Alberta, we don't have a strict rule. I mean, you have to have your coaching in order to be a master, but you don't have to be an active coach to do it. I think the hardest part is, I mean, if you're looking at teaching and you look at tournament we have 40 members, 45 members usually, somewhere around there. But you look at our teaching masters, we're going to have, they have 300, like, easily. And the hard part, in, like, you're looking at Edmonton, we have 80 coaches or whatever, 80 coaches, 100 coaches, somewhere around there. It gets tough. Finding places for him to bowl, for them to go and coach on a regular basis, and not you can't go to Saturday morning YBC and have 30 coaches there.
No. Well, and I mean I've barked about this many times about that being a flaw in my opinion, is that you should coach, or in some way, shape, or form. We've talked about this. I think maybe it's an adult league, or you sign up, or it's an hour. At the 4 hours a month. I get it. No, I totally get both sides of the argument. We're kind enough space for all these guys to coach, and you can't have too many voices talking to the same kids. So, yeah, but but why aren't they coaching? And then so one province they put in the rule you have to coach. So it's a tough.
You need a YBC program near you too. Right?
Yeah, it carries the opposite, right? I mean, he's driving 45 minutes anywhere for a program, right? So
minimum.
Right. Like, I mean, realistically, the other thing, like I just think.
Nat is right, but there's centers that are always needing coaches, and there's centers that are overloaded with coaches, and it's a tough balance.
I'd like to see more involvement, at least from an Alberta standpoint, but at the same time, I'm not in a position that I want to be barking and causing that issue. That's an internal thing to discuss. I
have a different stance. I know Masters is there for coaching and stuff like that. But I think Masters is there to give back, right? And I feel that entity is what is Masters. Maybe somebody doesn't have a time on a Saturday morning, or maybe they don't have a time, like, or maybe Kerry doesn't have a place to go and coach, for example, right? But I really feel if you give back to the sport some way, somehow, Kerry with the tour or Kerry with the 5P Universe, just an example, I think that is okay. Right? I think that's important, just as important as the rest. I think that should count towards Masters if there was something acceptable with that. That's my own personal opinion, right? Because I know Masters is supposed to coach the kids and stuff like that, but if there's no way you can be there or anything like that, I think there's other ways to be serviceable or promoting the sport in a positive manner.
In order to play in the Masters division or one of these, you have to do something, and it's get checked off every year. I did this, and as make it as bogus as it is, you'll get the guilt trip. But if it's just a couple hours, I worked a bingo, perfect. You get your check mark. Thanks for being part of it. Mm-hmm. I just spent 2 hours at a clinic with a bunch of kids, on Saturday afternoon, and did you or did you not, like at KJ or wherever, right? Like check mark, like. I agree, like, Tim. There's something.
I like Kathy's comment here too. You don't want a coach to go and coach just because they're told they're forced to coach. Right. You don't want them to be there and not care. Like that's the worst thing that you could have happen to. So
some people aren't good coaches. They might be great bowlers and great people.
Yeah. So go work a bingo.
Some people
right.
don't have the kids out of it, right? So.
Sell Grey Cup tickets, and you have to sell 50 Grey Cup tickets. If you want to buy them all yourself, perfect, check mark.
And I kind of say that to myself because I feel, if I compare Dex or myself, I feel Dex has way more to give back as a coach because he's phenomenal that way. Where I'm not as good at that way as a technical person. I see myself as developmental or whatnot. I just think that. I just think that I'm better off volunteering me somewhere else in the sport to make it better.
Check mark, Len. Check mark. That's what you get, buddy. Yeah.
And you know what? And Len and Tracy's a check mark for taking care of you. So I mean, it goes all the way around, buddy. Yeah.
But interesting that some see that as a hurdle because there's a barrier of being you have to be a volunteer for hours, and I don't want to be a volunteer. I'm not doing it, or I'm not coaching. So then I'm not playing. So. That's every organization needs to discuss what their challenges are and how they can overcome them. And if there's a way to improve on them, then do it. If there's not, then don't.
Yeah. I would love to try to see our numbers go up, right? See some, more competition, right? That's, if you want to be better at the problems, right? You got to try to get more people in there, right? So, get more people in the door.
Nice. How about flipping over to the open side of things, because that's a different type of a qualification in Northern Ontario and even within your zone. So we briefly touched on it earlier. What is it? What's the qualifying? So you bowl out of your zone and then you go to a provincials and then play against Northern Ontario and their zones, obviously. So how does that look for you guys?
Yeah, we each zone has a roll off. They're back a few years ago. They were all 10, 20 games, like 10 on Saturday, 10 on Sunday, and whatnot, right? And Thunder Bay did it differently for a while. They were doing 15 games. They were doing 5 games each of one of their centers each day. So they would bowl 7 games one day, 8 games the next, or whatever, vice versa, right? But now I know they switched it to 20, 3, 4, or something like that, right? So but now they only have 2 centers now again, right? So I imagine they would just do it 10 centers. I would believe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you bowl your 20 games, top 6 men, top 6 women, next 6 for the mixed team, right? Go on provincials. There's 6 zones. The Masters right now is switched to 5 zones, only open 6 zones. Go to provincials. So Wednesday, we Easter weekend, right? A lot of provinces are. On the Wednesday, we go in the singles bowl. There are 10 games, and that's depending on where we are in a location and how many lanes we have. Where schedule works, sometimes mix the both 3 games before that. But if the center is big enough to hold all 3 zones or shifts at once, then they don't do that. But and then the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, the teams bowl, all this mixed and all the men's teams. And then the Saturday, it's all the Saturdays, right? So I think you guys for Alberta, your singles is already dealt with that Wednesday night, isn't it? Like, who's going to nationals and whatnot?
I think each host can make up their minds, but lately it's been mostly Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know, because it's kind of a little bit different, right? The guy that wins, I'm already going to nationals, right? I know it might be a little bit different to me. I kind of like the way we do, right? So, you're made step ladder, you're bowling Saturday, but you don't know if you're going to win yet, right? So, you're still giving it your all in the team side.
Yeah, right? I personally vote for that too.
Yeah, I'm kind of good either way because at least in Edmonton, if you're not trying, you're gonna get ripped apart.
Yeah.
like if
I think that's a little bit different there.
So,
but I like the end of the day. I was a fan of that at the end.
I'm two different thoughts of it we talked about in the past. I thoroughly think our team benefited from people sitting singles in order to rest them for the stepladder, and I disagree with it still from 2010 on that situation, and I feel like we benefited from it, and I don't think it was fair, to be honest with you. So that's where I am okay with doing it on Wednesday, because it's over and done with, and then there'd be no sitting. Everybody has to play.
Sorry, so somebody sat in the 20th game because they wanted to wait for
19th game, yeah. Somebody they didn't play him because they were resting him for his singles, and
did the player ask to be sat?
The coach asked him. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to play," and we ended up winning in 10 by only 5.
Did you still win provincials as a team?
We won by provincials because we barely won the next game, and we won by a game.
So you still won. So all was well. You didn't lose, but just the fact that you.
But if it could have swayed
if we lost that game, North would have won the provincials probably most
awesome.
likely.
Well, you prevented North from winning a provincials, so.
Well, no, but it's the opposite. Yeah. As much as I think it, I think North would have done him good in a way, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy though that you would have done that. You'd hope that maybe that coach and player have learned that lesson since then. I don't know who you're talking about, but that would be my general statement that that's a mistake that you'd look back on and be like, that's not a good thing. So.
Yeah. I just put it in there. So yeah.
Anyways, back to Jeff and the provincials. So. You typically obviously go every year as your zone into provincials, but it's a tough go from being where you're from a team perspective. So you're allowed to play team and zone and singles. Obviously you do at provincials. So how is that mindset going in with your likelihood of your team's not going to win the team? Or do you guys put up a good fight in a really, really close, but at the end of the day, it's Thunder Bay would go?
We've got some decent bowlers in the Open. The Sunset men's, we usually medal. I know the last time we kind of got upset there and we finished 4th, I believe, but I think we should have medaled. But we give Thunder Bay a good running sometimes. Yes, they're obviously the way better team and whatnot, but we've beaten them a fair amount of times. I think we beat them more than any of the other zones. I think we would. But,
nice, okay.
But again, on paper, they're still going to beat us 8 out of 10 times.
But hopefully the 2 out of 10 eventually comes for you. That's all we'd ask for.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So you just got to beat him twice.
Yeah.
If you only beat him 2 games, make it the last 2 games in the step ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys do a
But
step
this
ladder
hasn't
for the
happened
teams, right? Because
Well,
you do
that's right.
step ladder for the team. You do a step ladder for teams.
For the team too, yeah.
It'd be nice if somebody would create a document of qualification rules for the Open for all the provinces across the country. And one single document. Here's your qualifying method. Same thing for the Masters. Here's your qualifying method. Do you think that somebody could do that? One document, one master document.
I think all the formats are on their website, Daryl.
Wow, I did. I know that. I know there are. I'm looking for one document that has everybody's all listed down. Right?
Yes. You know what? I'll create it for you. And
I didn't say you, Tim. I didn't say you. I'm just more putting it out to the world. Does anybody have the ability to go and do this?
Yeah.
Centralized information? No way, Daryl.
No way.
Yeah.
No
Well, I
way.
have it on 24 different websites.
I was looking for information on Jeff earlier, and I hear you. It was tough to find on trying to find information on the centralized website.
Your sites you were going to, I'm sure we couldn't find. Anyways,
I know for our Masters, they don't post the final results, right? So it's, you're like, oh, how much did I lose by last year, right? And they don't post it, so it's, I don't know. I think we should post the final results too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nice, but we don't. So.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know how much I beat Tyson by 2018. So I think it was like 6,000, 800 pins or something like that. It was like didn't have to bowl the last game, and I'm not even joking. And the following year, beaten by 4.
Don't worry. You don't have to worry about that anymore. He's gone. So.
I know. I scared him away. He went running like a little baby. Ran away. He knows I was coming from.
I think it's crazy that Manitoba only has 3 zones.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Westman, Central, and
Right.
Winnipeg. Yeah.
Pretty easy format there, then.
Oh, look at that! Look.
Calling you out, Jeff.
Yeah, I did choke. Yeah, I did though.
But that's crazy.
I needed 38. I needed 38 pins in the 10th to win.
Oh.
And he had finished. We're both bowling the same set of lanes, so just right way. What a way to finish the year off, right? We're both bowling the same set of lanes. He finished before I did. I go up in the lanes. Need 38 to win. Throw the first strike, big fist bump. Yeah, there we go. That's I need great. Throw the second one. Fuck, yeah, there we go. That's one more, right? Need 8 pins to win. Punch the 3 pins.
Oh.
Didn't even hit him though. I'm like, oh. So yes, well, I did choke. It was a choke. Oh well.
Well, you threw the 2 before that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried.
At least there was a chance, right? So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah.
Well, I went into that tournament with a decent league, and I struggled that weekend. So Tyson just kept chipping away, and yeah, he won.
Plenty of room. So your 2 singles that you would have played for Northern Ontario at the Open, what years were those, and who the difference, playing the Open singles versus the Master singles? Let's go there.
Yeah, the 2 years were 2012 in Gatineau and 2018 in Gatineau. I seem to like Gatineau a lot. So when it was going to be Gatineau a couple years ago there, right? Again, so I was kind of joking. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to win the Open this year again, right?
Yeah.
It's Gatineau. But unfortunately, COVID shut us down. But in 2012, it was a little bit different format. It had the 30 games back then still. You bowled 10 games a day. It was kind of interesting. Again, first Open. They do things a little bit differently. We were bowling at Dene, which you probably heard a lot. It's a tough house. It was synthetic to start and wood the second half, and the balls moved a ton. Yeah, I was going it as far as I could at the left 2 pin just to get in anywhere close to the middle. And I think my first game that day was about 40 something. Not joking. There was a lot to adjust to.
Yeah.
But the last game of the day was like a 406 or 407 or something like that. So it got better throughout the day.
Massive improvement.
I ended up splitting. That was the high game of the tournament. I ended up splitting with another guy from Nova Scotia. I split that year with. I won a little bit of money, which was nice.
Nice. And then in 2018,
awesome.
how'd that go?
In 2012, I didn't end up making the step ladder.
Okay.
I lost my first match, so I finished fifth. 2018, I think I bowled better. A little bit more experience at the time. I think I bowled a little bit better, but I just fell out of the step ladders. I was in it. I was sitting in it for the tournament, and just the very last couple of games, you got from Quebec or Frederick or that just sneaked me out. So I thought I had it, but it just fell short.
Frederick Martin, yeah.
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 He had a couple nice games to finish, and I was, thinking I was in, and he had, I think his second last game. I think it was game 14. I think you do 15 games now, right? So that would be game 14. He had a big game. I didn't realize that I wasn't really watching or something like that. So all of a sudden, our manager that year was watching me, and he kind of told me, he was like, he kind of had to move here. He had a big game. So I bowled well, but he had a good last game too, so I didn't gain enough on him. So gave it a whirl.
Well, you'll have more chances to be there again, so you'll learn from everything you do, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, the Open is a little bit harder for me to get to, right? Because singles is pretty much my only option, and you have the Grazias, the Ultimate boys pulling it, right? So it's tougher competition.
For sure.
It's hard to get
some
in.
good shooters out there.
Yeah, so what other, is that a different mindset for you playing Masters versus the Open, or what other differences do you find between the two that you face there? How do you feel about them?
Yeah, it's a little bit different because Masters you kind of own with our boy on the team, right? You're bowling the same set of lanes as your female single representative, right? So you kind of can cheer each other up. You can kind of motivate each other, right? Or whatever. You're not really doing much coaching, right? But just kind of have somebody to talk to. But for the Open, you're different with the main draw, right? So you're not. It could be across the bowling alley from you, right, or whatever, right? So you're not always bowling at the same time, right? So it's kind of a little bit almost. You're a little bit more on your own, a little bit more, right? So it's a different aspect, right? And then you're not really focused. Like for the Open, you're focused a little bit more on everybody, right? Because it's qualifying, right? It's high score wins. When the Masters, you're kind of just focused. It's just a match play, right? So you're focused on the guy next to you that you're going against. It doesn't matter what's going on over there. You don't care what's going on over there, right? It doesn't matter. It's either you get your 2 points and win, or you don't get 0, right? So
yeah.
But you're playing on the same lane with your other provincial partner.
In
right?
Masters,
For Masters?
not necessarily.
In Masters, you are. So there's 2 people
Yeah.
per lane, you and your female, right? Playing against their male and their female, men and lady, but obviously individual matches. Okay. But in match play, whereas the Open is still a 24 game or 21 game before stepladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you're not playing with the person from your province. You're playing with randoms.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the random main draw.
And one's total pinfall and one's match play.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But they're both stepladder.
Correct. 3-player stepladder and 5-player stepladder.
Oh, 5.
5-player for Open.
Yeah.
And 3-player for
Masters.
If you guys had to vote, what would be your preferred method for singles? Anybody voting out there too? What's your preferred method for singles, Masters or Open Nationals? I'm sure we've asked this before, and we'll ask it again. But if you had to vote for one, what would it be?
I kind of vote for Masters, I think, myself.
Masters?
Yeah. I think I'd vote for Masters too, but again, I think that the Masters format should be the Open format, and the Open format should be the Masters format.
Correct.
Say that again? Sorry?
I think they have the formats wrong. I think they have them backwards. I think Masters should be the scratch, and I think the Open should be the match play. Because Open is match play through and through from the start, sort of thing, all the way through provincials and whatnot.
For teams too. For teams, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So then you go to nationals. I mean, it's surprising to me that they go to a scratch format, whereas the Masters, you're qualifying on 6 different weekends, playing 8 games, qualifying as a singles, or qualifying as scratch. I don't know why it seems backwards to me.
But then at Masters Nationals, you're playing. Yeah, you're right. I got you. If that was the way, you would flip it, so they play a qualifying session again. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, but I like the Masters way better, but I just think they should be switched.
So you're the match play format way is you prefer of the Nationals. Carrie, how about you?
Match play.
Yeah, and you too, Tim.
I think
Tim's got some experiences where he probably wishes.
You know what? I enjoy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's match play. I think match play. And the only reason why I say that is because I like the Masters best 2 out of 3 because they can do that because it's only top 3 in the step ladder where it's only
because you play everybody 3 times.
Yeah, I know you. And so I say first
ladder.
2 replace
gotcha.
3 place 2 best 2 out of 3, and then so really as a 1 seed you don't really have much of a bonus other than just being a 1 seed, right? Whereas open you have a double knockout, right?
Sorry, explain this best 2 out of 3 again. So when you get to the step ladder in the Masters, there's only 3 people in the step ladder. It's a 3-game match between third and second.
Yeah. So I'm third seed.
And if you win the first 2 games, then you're good.
Right.
It's not a total pinfall for the 3 games. That's the best 2 out of 3. Gotcha. So you can't. What if you tie the first game?
Then well, I guess you'll see what the other 2 games are first. And
if it's a split, then it's total pinfall, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
So the matches in the step ladder for the Masters is a 3-game match play, 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Whereas the Open step ladder is a 1-gamer, right? Except for the first place second.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Double life. Yeah.
So there's no advantage to qualifying first in the Masters, even though it's a match play. There's no advantage, right?
You only have to win one match.
Yeah, you don't have to play the 2-3 match.
You've only got to win 1 match. Best 2 out of 3, 1 match.
And you look at it, and prime example was Cody Laycox. He struggled. Cody's a hell of a player. He struggled for qualifying. He only averaged 230 something, like low 230s.
But because he was match play. You're talking about Masters.
Masters match play. He was, and so me, Tyson, and him tied for the first seed, and then 4th was below us, so it didn't matter. So we had a roll off to see who was 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Cody had like a three like mid 3s. I had a 320, and then Tyson had a 280. So that's how we got our seeds. And then Cody went 3. I shot 360 at him or 340, and he went 340 against me. So he averaged 230, but what he needed to throw his high games, he did, right? So kudos to him, right? But that's match play, right? Where in the Open, he would never have made the step ladder.
Because of the qualifying, because of the score, sure.
Yeah, right. So it all depends what you're looking for. Cody deserved he played well on this when he needed to, right? So,
I love watching Carrie read things. Because Carrie does like the typical like puppy dog thinking face where it goes,
Yeah. I know. Imagine this. Top 3 is based on match play records, but a wild card gets in for highest pinfall outside of the top 3. Top 3 is based on match play records. Wasn't that normal? Sure. Yeah. And then a wild card gets in for highest pinfall outside of the top 3. Whew.
So you take your top 3 players, and then your 4th player in the step ladder is based on total pinfall.
Are we the NBA?
I don't.
Are we having a play-in?
But I don't mind that because that makes...
But we are for the WCBT. I get it.
That makes people play to the end too.
It does.
Sure.
Right? So that makes all those matches get a lot tougher down the line. Even if like you're facing somebody who's out of it in the match play side of it, those matches can get tougher too. So I don't mind that actually.
Yeah.
I don't mind that too because it does reward you say somebody for grinding it all day long. It just unfortunately had somebody that was, or people were ramped up to play you. You're the number 1 seed, and everybody wants to play you, and they're coming to, hammer down.
But they'd be 4, right? They'd be the 4 seed.
Sure, they'd be 4th, but I mean they're.
But what if the top 3 are the best average players that weekend, and that week they happen to win all their matches or whatever, and the 4th player is 30, 40 pins behind them, should they get a spot in the stepladder? I don't think so.
I just think Winnipeg is just whining again. I think that's
well, there was a reason for the question, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, boom, there it is. So here's a question then for all the stats guys out there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the last whatever number of years of Masters Nationals and tell me who hasn't made the stepladder with being the highest pinfall.
Jeff Bourne did in 2014.
But that's 1 year, 2014. Right? We're talking 1 year.
Yeah.
Right. Has it happened? How many times has that happened in the last 20 years or stats? So if you tell me one person, there's one person. If you tell me it's happened actually every single year, we've had a guy who has been one of the top 3 and doesn't make it, or there's a big forensics into that whole thing. You know what I'm asking here, right? So,
yeah. Gino was probably one of them. He'll probably let us know. So
for sure, Gino's one of them. Yeah. And he would tell you about every single frame that he threw that day too. Seven bagger. Missed a corner, ran a 7-bagger, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What were we talking about, Jeff? Where were we at? What's your favorite between Masters and Open? So Masters, you said.
Yeah, but maybe we can move on. People don't know about Jeff being part of the Canada Cup singles. He was the only representative ever to come out of Northern Ontario in the singles event. Jeff, do you want to maybe explain that a little bit? How you enjoyed the event and how maybe it was different compared to your Masters and Open experiences, if it was?
Oh, it was very different, yeah, for sure. The first year, there wasn't even a qualifying. I don't know if they were trying to put one on or not. I didn't hear nothing about it. Didn't know nothing about it. So I got a call one day. They Northern Ontario still wanted to send a representative. They wanted to win the So since I happened to win the Open singles and the Masters singles that year, they asked me if I wanted to go. So I'm like, sure. Of course. It was all expenses paid. Everything was paid for. I'm like, of course I want to go. That'd be great, right? That was when it was at Bonnie Doon. And, first and only time I ever bowled there. Wow, a lot of lanes. Holy cow! And that 17-inch centers, that was different too. That was. I think I averaged over 280 that tournament, and realistically, I probably averaged 260 or something like that. It was weird, just hit it on the middle anywhere, and it was strike. It's kind of was weird, but
yeah, that's why Dexter and I went to go play there for the 8-gamer, so we're qualified over there.
Yeah, and that's how you qualified, I think, right? Yeah. I did.
Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't qualify.
Yeah.
I bowled my 8-gamer and bowled horrendous. It's horrible. I don't know if I made top 100, but Kerry's not going to look that up. I know he's listening. No,
but you're right. Bonnie Doon is a different animal, though. It is. I mean, there's lots of chirping about it, but it's another one.
I think I went down and saw you guys down there, Jeff. I remember watching a little bit down there, right? It was a different atmosphere. There was like no energy a little bit the first year, at least, right? So
yeah. So no one knew anything about it. I don't know how any other provinces were, but it wasn't the greatest representation the first year, right? It wasn't your top speed bowlers or whatnot, right? It was a lot of people I had never heard of before, I'd never seen before, and I haven't seen since, right? But the second year, Northern Ontario actually did have a qualifying, and I went and bowled it. So the first year was fun, right? It was flat. But they had it the Sunday after the Open provincials, and I kind of get it, makes sense. Everybody's down there on their location at the time, right? But we have our banquet night Saturday night. Who wants to go bowl Sunday morning that early? No, we're all drinking and having a good time, right? So I wasn't that rough. I was drunk and that, right? But you had a late night. You don't really feel like 9 o'clock bowling, really, right? But I went down the bowl. I think there was 8, 10 of us or something like that, right? Realistically, I think there was only about 2 other guys that were decent, right? So, but I ended up winning in the end. I didn't lead most of the time, actually. I think I stuck in found a line that worked better and started going better. Knocked it out at the end.
So you're a Canada Cup champion.
Well, yeah, the provincial side. That year, Nationals were Southern Ontario, was it Hamilton? Or where was it, Marla? Hamilton, I think.
Just following along in both places, eh?
Yeah, she remembers better than I do. I don't have the greatest memory. But yeah, it was, I don't remember what the house what it was, but it was a soccer house. It wasn't really, it was hotter than hell, right? So it was a hard bowling when it's just sweat ball and ball so hot. I had a fun time. It was a blast. It was still had, but, didn't bowl that great that time around.
I think Sly won that year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at I was looking at the stats. I couldn't find any. I went on the website and you couldn't find any. So I think you got second one year, didn't you?
Yeah, the first year I qualified first, and then just hit the bed in the finals. I think I had like a 460 double in the finals, so finished second. But first year, silver medal. Nothing wrong with
totally.
That. Absolutely, that's awesome.
Now that tournament has been cancelled. It's no longer right. That was a bowl. It was a Bowl Canada event, right? A little bit of a different format and qualifying and all events type of a thing, right?
Yeah, it's been canceled now. They brought it out to rival the Masters and the Open and the Tour events finals. So they wanted to have their own kind of thing like that, and they wanted to create something so they could put it on television. It just never came to be, and they couldn't find the right time. I know in Alberta, the first year we qualified, how we qualified ours, Jeff, was our national classifieds, or I guess our Canada Cup. Sorry, our Canada Cup was qualified. The highest scratch bowler in our pins over average division made it. So it was an older gentleman from Calgary, I believe, and he only averaged like 215. I think that was his average. And then the following year, we had an all-events event, and it was down in Calgary, and they took the top scratch bowler in the singles division. Okay, we have a singles, doubles, and team events, and it's scratch and POA you can enter into. And Mike Lecoussier won that one. Well, Shelby won it, but Shelby was on the board, and he can't represent if he's on the board. So Mike went on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the second year was better competition for sure. Right? I think the word would have got out a little bit. The first year I didn't hear anything about it. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't think I remember us too. Now, obviously, it canceled because of the numbers, or canceled because of COVID and pandemic, or canceled because of other reasons.
I think it's the numbers.
Numbers. So
yeah,
I think
not going to compete against the other big ones that are out there, unfortunately, and just sort of.
Yeah. Well, don't quote me on it, but it was something where I think it was $1,500 extra franchise. I think it cost each province, and they were told they had to try to do 2 franchises per province that were part of it, most of them, and so that franchise fee included all the flights and the hotels with $1,000 or $1,500. And the provinces weren't able to recoup the costs because there's no way they weren't holding the event, or there was in their time frame it wasn't working, or there was some kind of issue with it, conflict. So they were losing money on it, right?
Provinces were, so they just said they're not going to support it, and when they can run tournaments, and then really it comes down to individual provinces or houses within the province. So
right.
Yeah. There's actually one thing I just thought of just now. Actually, I kind of forgot. Obviously, the Bowl Canada was 10 pin 2, right? So we go to the first was hilarious. I wasn't the only one. I know there was somebody else, and I don't remember who else did it with me. But I remember there was somebody else. But the Saturday night banquet night, right? Awards and whatnot. Every bowling tournament I ever do, is you go down in your uniform, right? You have your pictures with the medals and whatnot, right? So I put my stinky uniform back on, right? Started going downstairs for the banquet, and little did I know is their banquets are
Very excited.
so go down the banquet right? And everybody dressed to the nines, right? It's suits, nice dresses. You know, so I had to run back upstairs. I remember somebody else that had seen me, right? And had done the same thing. Had a hit uniform on. We got to go change them. Luckily, I had a semi shirt that happened to bring, right? But just like I didn't realize there was still freaking such event. So that was definitely a little bit. I wasn't told him about that. So I was kind of scared.
Yeah, little heads up would have been nice here, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
send the rookie down in the uniform where everybody's all dolled up.
Yeah,
that's just fun.
I hold him all week. That was a little bit different.
Yeah.
I remember that because we National Classifieds we had to wear a suit and tie and everything like that for the thing. It was a neat event, that's for sure. I always enjoyed it. So
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was a good night.
yes.
Hey Jeff, did you just change your headphone into your other ear because all of a sudden you went a little bit quieter than you were before? So I'm wondering if you changed something once you did your drop and go there.
Yeah, well, my one earphone fell out, and so the other one was just sitting on the desk. So I could put the other one back down.
Okay.
I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah, can you get your other one? Can you get your other one?
I'll put the other one back.
We'll just mute him while he's rummaging around here.
Yeah.
But interesting, all the different events that there are, and the different singles formats that there are, and the different, step ladders and things, right? There's so many tournaments that are out there that it's tough to keep track of, but it's also you have to pick and choose which are the best and which are the favorites and which ones you're going to support. So
Yep.
it's tough to do them all.
Is that a little bit better again, guys?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
yeah.
Thanks.
Much better. Oh, that's good.
It was picking up the one off the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that mic has or that headphone got the mic in it, I guess.
So I guess, Jeff, we can talk maybe a little bit about the bowling center that you bowled at, Fort Francis or Plaza Lanes, I think it was, or was it?
Yeah.
So many Plaza Lanes out there. Maybe we can talk a little bit about it and maybe talk about how it closed and the effect on the community and how far the next center is to you.
Yeah, obviously it was tough hearing the news, right? I had a little bit of forewarning that something might be going down. So, tougher, right? We don't have a league this year. I know some of the Fort Francis bowlers were going to try to have a Saturday league in Dryden because that's what Kenora had been doing for a few years. Their lanes were closed for a few years. They have just opened back up again. So that's great for them, great for us, Steve. So they were driving in once a month to bowl in Dryden just to get the league in. So, you can still do your POA or, you still have a set league average. So people that want to do that could. So we might be doing the same thing. I know we're going to have a little get together here sometime probably in the next month or something like that and just kind of talk with people to see who will be interested in doing that, right? But
Yeah.
obviously for me, I'm going to be bowling the WCBT there this year. I'm going to try to do the Timmins tournament there this year too, and try definitely the Winnipeg one too. I want to do a lot of bowling, as many as I can. So, bowling once a month isn't going to do it, right? If you want to try to be competitive, so I'll be going to Dryden probably every week, maybe even twice a week, bowling their leagues there, right? Just to try to get games in and keep bowling and try to be competitive. So I'll probably join they have a Monday night men's league there. That's a little bit better quality bowlers, which I'm looking forward to. I like to try to have some competition and try to push yourself, right? But unfortunately, it's a men's league. Just trying to convince them that maybe they allow one woman there, right? To be able to bring Mara there to bowl with us and whatnot. But I'm kind of hearing a little bit of 50-50 that know it's a men's league. They know the situation, right? But with the men's league, supposedly there's a lot of banter between the boys, right? It's boys talk, right? So it's
very
not.
Yeah. There's a word for that. Be careful.
Yeah.
it's funny to hear hear men's league anymore, because like we don't have them at all here, but we haven't had a men's league here in forever. But you have ladies leagues all the time, but you don't really have men's leagues anymore.
Right. Why? What's the difference? Right.
Yeah.
Why do they get theirs? Why can't? Yeah. Because you're misogynist. Well, what are they then? Right? They're doing their own league. They're not allowing it. Anyways,
I'll probably be doing that myself, and then possibly maybe joining another night, maybe a Friday night, because they're Friday night league. So maybe doing that one as well, and bring Marlo there for that one, right? And then that way, we're there Friday night, we can crash out a friend's park. So the Saturdays that we're bowling our Fort Frances league, we can bowl that then too, right? Would make it easier. So
yeah.
So how big of a center was? How big of a center was Fort Frances or Plaza Bowl? How big of a center was it?
10 lanes. Yeah.
And obviously just league support and the number of, not a nightly league for people and only a couple of leagues. At the end of the day, the business. So they're looking to sell it, or is it just sort of closing down, or what are you doing at the lanes and computers, or what's?
It is sold. The guy that bought it is probably going to be just tearing the building down. He wants the property for rentals. He has a lot of rental places here and whatnot, right? So that's kind of what he does. So the building will probably be torn down. Last week we spent like 5 days solid in there, ripping everything out. All 8 of the machines are down, ready to be hauled out. Arnie had brought 4 of them to Sudbury with him, so 4 of them have already gone to Sudbury. This weekend, Saturday, some of the boys from Dryden are coming down again. So make another load up as much as they can, grab it, and they'll bring it to Dryden to bring to Sudbury at a later date or that.
Yeah. It's got to be such a sad feeling for anybody that's had to do that, right? Is to tear down a center and computers and start ripping it out, because for the sad reasons that they're not getting put back in, or they might some, but that's the end of the day. It's some tears must be shed at that day.
Oh, absolutely. I've a Monday, like Arnie had called me personally on the one Saturday, and it's tough when you get choked up and whatnot, right? And that Monday. Because my day job, I'm a mailman, right? So I drive around. So that Monday, when I'm driving around, I'm driving 5 hours a day, right, delivering mail. You're sitting there by yourself. You're alone. I started thinking of it. Right? You have it on your mind, and I got pretty choked up there. It's sad, right? So
it's been a huge part of your life.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I saw the memories, right? You posted, and I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, the stats and all that stuff. I'm not too certain about the Vancouver Canucks shirt. I mean, I'm still wondering about that.
Yeah,
but
I don't know when I've ever had that shirt on. I've never been a Canucks fan. My mom must have put that on me. My family's not even Canucks fans either, so I don't know where that shirt ever came from.
What are you, fan? I did the mistake last week with Tyson, as he says, I'm a Carolina fan. Oh, how about the local teams? Do you like the Jets? That was the start of my end from last week, I think, boys. So, what are you for a sports fan, Jeff?
I'm not too huge into sports. Like, I do cheer for the Blue Jays. I hope for the Blue Jays. But I don't watch every single game and know every single stat or everything. Like, I cheer for them, but fortunately they've lost a lot in my lifetime, so I'm kind of used to them. It was kind of nice that playoff run we had a couple years there. It was great, but I think I've only watched 3 or 4 games this year so far. But we turn on TSN, you see the Jays win. All right, watch the highlights, right? All right, good for them. Yeah. But when they lose, it's like I don't know nothing about the game. I don't watch it. But I'm a Jays fan, and then hockey, Habs fan myself. I'm more baseball, more hockey. Hockey kind of the same thing, right? I really don't know any of the stats. I don't follow it that closely. But the Habs win, great. Watch the replays or watch the highlights, great for them. They lose, same thing, right? You have to don't watch it. I don't think I watched a single game this year. I watched a couple of the playoff games, but regular season games, I didn't watch a single game.
Right.
So, So Arnie, did you help out Arnie? My understanding, you helped him out with clearing out some of the bowling center then?
Yeah, I was there when I wasn't working yet.
Yeah.
Like,
so what happened with all the old beer? Did you guys end up drinking it, or was he too cheap not to give you any?
Oh no, I don't drink beer myself actually. But yeah, no, Arnie's always been great. I've never really had to pay for a whole lot, but have a shot of whiskey, have a pop or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, some of the beer's still sitting there, and I'm sure this Saturday some more is going to get drank.
Yeah. Open call for people to come help move some stuff for beers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That beer will be gone.
Had a couple of drinks.
Yeah. People from Winnipeg. Hendrickson's going to head down now too.
Yeah.
What's this last thing on the agenda, Tim? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
Cue us up there.
So Jeff has a story he wants to bring about his perfect game attempt.
Yes, so I'm going to kind of do a little mini version or a little different version of your What's Your Score game.
We haven't played that for a while. You're going to have
to tell me how this is possible. But I had 10 from the start, 10 in a row, and only finished the game with a 4-10.
It's 10 in a row, 5 foul spare.
No.
How many balls are you throwing? 10 in a row, 5-5, 3-pin spare, headband, keep adding a couple more. Yeah.
So yeah, I throw the first 10, right? I've never thrown 10 before. Nervous is just, the knees are just knocking, right? And this was actually during the Masters tournament, so we were bowling with the Bantam. So you have a bunch of 8-year-olds running around. Especially with the Bantams, they don't really know lane curves or anything like that, right? So there was a lot of time, you throw 6, you throw 7, you're starting to get up there a little bit, right? And getting up on the approach, and you see a little kid come walking by, right? And that master kind of, no masters, they kind of jump in, grab him by the shoulders, and pull him back. Get out of there! He's going for, a perfect game, right? So you have all the kids around you cheering you on. It was really exciting. But those 10 in a row, knees are just knocking. Tell myself, okay, just slow, nice and slow. Don't go too fast, right? Just nice and slow. Go my approach, the backswing, go way too slow, incredibly way too slow. Skip the ball off the floor as I'm throwing it, skyrockets it, it's on, hit the lane shield out, knock it out. So a 0, 10 in a row, and a 0. And then 10 or 12th ball, I punched the head pin to finish it off. So it was like, that kind of stuff. How many people
I was going to say maybe a foul or something, but yeah, smash the lane guard.
To make you feel better, Jeff, to make you feel better, I didn't get a 2 once.
At Nationals.
I did 10 in a row once and finished with 408. And the reason why I came up with my solution for you was I went 10 in a row, 3-pin foul spare.
There's a foul in there.
For 408.
Yeah. 3 and 4 at Sherwood Park, Glen. 3 and 4.
Dexter, you fouled on the 3-pin or on the spare?
On the 3-pin. So earlier in the year, I was in Scottsdale for their cash tournament, and I went 10 in a row, and then I left a right corner, and it wasn't a very aggressive shot at all. So left the corner, spared it, whatever, 418 or whatever, or no, 433. So it was like 2 months later, and I throw 10 in a row, and the guy beside me, Jim Washington's like, I haven't seen a perfect game in years. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, stay aggressive on the shot. Don't be lazy. Stay aggressive.
Other way to Jeff.
Yeah, I slid like 4 inches past the foul line, guaranteed. Ripped out the left 3-pin, and then I spared it to get my 400. So, yeah. We're equally as dumb.
It was high-low doubles, and you were with Ron Croach. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
But Jeff was just going so slow, just steady, smash, boom.
Went way too low, and smashed it off the
You must have been like this, and people watching like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, yeah. Other kids are kind of in shock. And of course, I think the following game, I think I started with like 3 or 4 in a row, and then same thing. Kid comes up to me, "Are you going to bowl a first game this game?"
Yeah, kid.
Well, I'm going to try,
but like probably fucking not. Like,
yeah. Where's your parent? Where's your parents?
Yeah. That's the thing that's different with bowling masters with the kids, right? You got they say things to you, right? That might get in your head, right?
We need to build a perfect game pot for the Pro Team League, hey?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Definitely. Not a bad idea.
So if anybody else has I guess we can call it a bad beat, I guess, maybe. Let us know. Dexter and Jeff have their own bad beat. Carrie has a bad beat on aces. We talked about that. I shared a 10-pin video, and it was brought up.
It just wasn't a very good shot.
It wasn't a very good shot.
Such a piece of...
Every time I see that video, I still laugh. And you know what? The baby laughing on it totally made my day. Because everybody's like, ooh, and then we're like,
it was only for $15,000. No problem, guys.
But Jeff, let's chat about your experience on WCBT. Obviously, coming out here, playing tournaments, making cuts, playing, stuff out here. What's the highlights of playing out here so far?
Well, I've bowled Calgary, I think twice, but it's been quite a few years. Haven't qualified ever. Bowled Regina once. Didn't qualify. I bowled Edmonton BC, I think 3 times now, maybe 4, but I think it was 3 times. Yeah, I think so. The first was Mark's help, Collingwood. Kind of the first big adult tournament, right? Serious. And I think I bowled 2 shifts, I think. So I bowled the first shift or whatever shift it was, and it was garbage. About it, whatever. It was the last shift. I know there were no more attempts or something like that. Like, this is it. This is the last shift. I had like an 850 the first 4, and I remember going outside, talking to myself, like, what the F are you doing, you dumbass? This is the last 4 games, like, now we're freaking never, right? There's no other chance. And I think I had like a 1250 or something at the final 4 to sneak in there, right? And I know the last game, I had another 400 something, right? I knew I needed a big one, like I needed 340 or something like that, right? I need a big game coming home. And I remember I was, just off in your zone, right? I wasn't talking to anybody, throw the strike, sit back down, I'm not zoning into anything. And I remember a good friend of mine, Brad Rusnak, actually was there, and he was right behind me and just, cheering me on and whatnot. He knew when I needed to get in, he knew I needed something big, right? Kind of nice having him there, right, to cheer me on. And I ended up pulling the big game, right? I got the 400. I ended up splitting the high game pot with somebody else, with the 406 or 407 or whatever it was. Splitting the high game pot with somebody else. It was ridiculous. Yeah. But bowled well. The first match, I actually bowled against Gino. Never met him before. I knew nothing about him. He didn't know me. I'm sure
I'm sure he told you all about himself though for the first game. So.
He was trying to mess with me. It was hilarious. I don't get too rattled too much. I don't just kind of do my own thing. But through the entire match, you throw a strike or a spare, something. I know it's quick high, little high five as you go by like that, right? And I come off lanes and probably 15 times during that match. He'll put his hand up and
Oh no. His internet dropped.
Tino's on the other end and saying, "I'm not letting him tell the story."
He works for TELUS.
Yeah. Bam! Cause snip him off. Oh, that's too bad.
Well, sorry boys, I do have to bow out right now, so hopefully Jeff pops back on. But thank you, boys.
Oh, there he is. He comes back on. There we go. Maybe.
We'll catch you guys on the flip side.
See you next. Later, bud.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jeff, it looks like Jeff's trying to connect here, but I think they're having some problems.
Interesting. I think I kind of know what direction he was leading. He was saying high fives and cordial. At some point in time in a match, and question for you guys, do you find that maybe somebody, your opponent, has all of a sudden started asking you a couple of questions or started to sort of say something different to you than he has the first couple of games, and all of a sudden, why are you asking me this? Oh, because I'm up 60 pins, right?
Or change the way he was high-fiving, or change
It's a lot different now for us, I think, than when we're first time we make a cut or second time we're new, right? They don't do it so much to us nowadays as they used to, right? Because it's like, come on, guys, back the fuck off. Like I don't need your shit, right? And then, but it did happen in the previous times, right? It's a lot easier
and I would think that once you get used to it, then you know that everybody does it, right?
Yeah.
And whether they're doing it on purpose, they're subconsciously probably going to do something a little bit different, in a match. Yeah. I'm going to sit somewhere different, right? And you just. Whether you're doing it yourself or you're just trying to change your own game, you're actually changing. So then the other guy is like, "Oh, hey, they changed up. They must be trying to play mind games with me." Fuck, man. Yeah. You worry about you, I'll worry about me. But there's also times that a guy's asking some questions. So maybe that's where he was going with that. I'm assuming, right? So
yeah. No worries. Obviously, with Jeff having the problems on, we are at that 2-hour mark, so we're going to kind of wrap this thing up. Jeff, if there's anything you want to add, we'll maybe bring you in for a podcast later on. We'll get your last bit of that story in. But I can't thank him enough for coming on. Yeah. Obviously, it's been a while since he's been out to the WCBT event, but we're glad to have him coming back out here. It'll be a ton of fun.
Great. I've known Jeff for a long time. Oh, he's coming on. Maybe.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Hey Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
They kicked me out there, stupid phone.
It's all Marla's fault, yeah.
You guys pretty much know it on the head there.
Were you listening at all while we were?
Yeah.
So was I right that something Gino maybe you just started asking a question and you're just like, hey, what's But
I think he was just trying to. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say if he was or not, right? But he kept asking me, "Do you want a high five or not? Do you want a high five or not?" And I was like, "Oh, I know I just want." And 3-4 times later, he'll ask me again, "You want a high five? You want a high five?" And I think he was just a little bit upset that he was down and he was trying to get to the young kid. I don't blame him. I do the same thing, right? But but no, it didn't rattle me, and I beat him. Of course, I didn't know who Gino was back then either, right? So he didn't have the big superstar above his head, right? I didn't really know him, right? So
only one of the best to ever play the game in Canada. Like it's just Gino Zebra.
Yeah, I know that now. Yeah.
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 For sure.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, the question, the bucket list, that's what's on the plan, right? Is to play WCBT. You got to make some cuts. You want to make a good run at it. You got a few bucks in your pocket. You get some tour points, right? You make the finals. I mean, is that where we're headed? I mean, Masters, Open, Nationals. What's the bucket list look like for Jeff?
Well, first, you want to get the gold and everything, right? So, Masters singles gold, Open singles gold, right? Want that. Want to win a WCBT event. We're like make finals. Probably not this year, but who knows? It's some try, right? All it takes really is one good tournament. Right? Points, right? So,
a semifinal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
You're almost there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I plan to be bowling for a long time, so I'm sure I'll get in there at least 1 year, hopefully.
Well, and good on you for realizing you gotta take a long drive, or you gotta it's not maybe in your own backyard, but you're still committed to the game. You're still committed to coaching. You're still committed to playing. So that says a lot about you, Jeff. So well done, and obviously best of luck going forward. You're gonna keep having a big resume going forward. So good on you.
I sure hope so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Well, thanks, Jeff. You're more than welcome to stay on while we do the All-Star draw. Is there any final parting words that you have for us, or anything that any other good insight you have?
No, just thanks for having me on. I guess this is probably the last podcast if I'm on. There's no one else who's probably available. But you come asking me, I'm like, holy cow, really? Is that desperate? But
No.
But no, it's just enjoy watching your podcast every week, right? I'm watching it every week. You guys are doing the right thing for bowling right now, right? So especially getting through this COVID times, especially for me, I definitely got me through COVID without bowling. So have people talk about bowling, right? You're still thinking about bowling. It's just gets people through, and I'm sure I got a lot of people through. So I'm definitely getting excited to go and get started and get going here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that was kind of the podcast started before COVID did, but that was kind of the whole point of keeping it going and keep 5-pin bowling in front of everybody's mind and keep them interested in the sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this draw.
Perfect.
27 entries. Who's the lucky winner tonight?
That'd be me, right? Come on.
Did you already win yet, or did the wife win?
No, I haven't yet. The white one wins. Yeah.
5-pin Universe is in that. I put us in. Oh, Cindy won.
Nice.
That's rigged. That's
It
rigged.
is rigged. Way to go, Tim.
Hey, she's a Patreon member. Give it to her.
Yeah, there you go. Congrats, Cindy.
Nice
Yeah.
work.
All right. So, 109 done. 110 around the corner. Tim, who's our guest for next week?
Next week, super excited. We're gonna have Epco on, our Richard Perella from Epco, who makes all the bowling balls. He's gonna be on all the way from Massachusetts. So
Nice.
he's gonna be
That's
on.
awesome.
He's also, him and his brothers are part of the whole part of the community out there. I believe he even runs the Candlepin associations out there. So there is some really good content coming in after that. And I believe on September 1st, we have Dave and Brenda Pankoff as well. So
Nice. Good hits.
they're gonna be coming on as well. So Brett's never gonna get back on here. We have too many great guests coming on, so don't have to worry about Hendrickson. There we go.
And co-hosts. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to next week. It's interesting to chatting with manufacturer or
Yeah.
the ball company and representatives. Not something that we really dived into a whole lot. So, and obviously Epco's had a big play in the sport of bowling. So it'll be interesting to talk.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good show. Just want to adjust this. Lenny Anseth is a super patron. If people didn't know, he doesn't like internet transactions, so he gave 5-pin Universe $100. So we're going to be putting that in the coffers and put that
Thanks, buddy.
towards some stuff. So
Nice.
I'm not sure when we should hit him up for another $100. Maybe next week. Super patrons, $100 a week. That sounds pretty good to me, right, Lenny?
Every time he comes to Sherwood Park.
Yeah.
Run small tournaments. He'll be there every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Satellites. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't talk about that yet tonight. Maybe next week, next couple of weeks, we'll talk about the
We will,
satellites of
for
the
sure.
other events.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Once again, thanks, Len. Thanks, Jeff, for coming on. And thanks, guys, for sticking
Yeah.
through and doing the podcast.
Have a good one, everybody. See you
Thanks,
next week.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.